Hello, and at long last, welcome back to my speedrun of Dyson Sphere project. Last time we left off, I said I had to do a couple of calculations before we continue. In the 3 weeks since then, I have done said calculations. So now I am collecting all the machines and things I need to build the construction. Also doing a bit of maintenance. You can see, a bit of the mall ahead that needed fixing. So the construction. So this episode I'm gonna make my first really big construction, reasonably big construction. That's to make supermagnetic rings. Excuse me. So I want to make 4 signs per second. I also want, later on, want to make 4 rockets per second. That's my goal. I'm gonna initially start with 1 rocket per second, then upgrade that to 4 rockets per second. Now I have done calculations how much that means, and that means in total I have to make, for those rockets, I have to make 8 supermagnetic rings per second, and for just the science I have to make science that is gravity science that needs this. I will need 8 electromagnetic turbines per second, and so together with the turbines for the magnetic rings, that means 24 turbines per second for the entire build. Now we also need electromagnetic supermagnetic rings for the fusion power, but that's like 1 every 3 seconds, so much less in comparison. Now that being said, it's still a very big build to immediately go to that full size. So I'm gonna start at a quarter size of that, and make sure I stock up on many of. I'm gonna build spaceports, or what are they called, and they can store like 15,000 units of each resource. So I'm gonna start at 1/4 size, then I'm gonna build up, and then if that surplus ever runs down, I'm gonna build more. Simple as that. Okay. So I'm gonna do this build on the second planet, because over here we have many fresh resources. And that's the main reason. And also lots of space. So yeah. Supermagnetic rings mainly needs iron ore and copper ore, and also a little bit of coal. So that's all available on this planet, and that little bit of coal is even at the old production site. So it's over here. I have already scouted out a place to build this build. So see me here finding the location where I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start at the edge of this, this edge where we change from one grid to the next. And from here I'm going to build downwards. And so I'm starting at the absolute top, so that we have enough space downward that we can build downwards, because there's an iron ore patch in the way I don't want to run into. So you can see it's quite curious way I'm building here, because basically whenever you want to make an efficient build, you want to have as much direct inserters as possible. Means immediately going from one machine to the next without passing through a belt. So you can see I'm making here a single unit that has 2 machine assemblers for motors, and an assembler for the gear and an assembler for the electromagnets immediately in one little piece. So yeah, it's I've made actually several different. There are several different ways you can configure your things for your machines for to make the the turbines. And actually, in my original playthrough, I actually used a different one than this. But that different one involved iron belts going in a cross direction, so not just along, but across. So I want to prevent that, and that makes this rather curious construction here. I'm also needing splitters here, so we can put the outputs at one level higher. So over here goes the iron belt, and then because the splitters are there, the iron belt has to make these squiggles. So it's I'm not sure if it's the most efficient build, but I think it's a pretty good one, and I definitely wanted to try it out here. So yeah, so over here there's one row. This entire iron belt should be consumed by two of these, so one at one side, one at the other. No, excuse me. This iron belt is just good for one side, so these 4 modules will consume that entire iron belt. And we need, to get the full production, we need 16 of these rows. So I'm already told you I am going to do at a quarter of what I need. And so that means I need 4 such rows of 4 modules each, that each contain 2 assembling machines for Mark II motors. Okay. So yeah, I'm here. In the meantime, you can see the belt layout I'm using. So this is the return belt. The green belt on this side is the iron. Yeah, the iron belt, iron plates. On the opposite side we have another 2 belts. One is for the magnets and the other is for the magnetic rings, I mean, and the other is for copper. So yeah, because the belt on the other side, the iron belt on the other side, also needs to make these squiggles, it's kind of like you lose one bit of space in the middle, but yeah, it's part of the build, unfortunately. Another unfortunate part of this build is that you have to be kind of careful of how you place your assembling machines. Like you can see me here being very careful, like where exactly, how much space needs to be in between these, and I think here I'm making a mistake even. Yeah, it's over here. So yeah. And then being careful, but I'm starting to get the hang of it, and it's all fine, right? And then it's just rinse and repeat of what I've done already. So this is almost half of the builds, or half of the assembling machines, I should say. Still far from half of the builds, and yeah, it's just building right now. Yeah, not much to say about it. What else? Yeah, here. Yeah, I really love these splitters, by the way. This configuration of splitters, because you can very easily go one level up at a very small space. No, actually, come to think of it, it could probably have been done without the splitters. I'm thinking right now, but here in the well, I'm not watching, and in that case, everything could be one unit. We wouldn't have this empty lane in the middle, as you can see here. So yeah, in each case, now I'm putting all the sorters in, and hoping I don't make a mistake. Another. Yeah, each time also, if you have a big build, like you have to like figure out where. First, you have to figure out where I put the sorters, and then you have to like figure out a way to easily put the sorters in there. So I'm like now trying different ways, so it's that don't have too high cognitive loads. And I made a mistake here. So yep, fixing that. So it's very easy to make mistakes because you have to like figure out like which one is in which direction, and once you put it in, it's very hard to see if you made a mistake. The only way to be sure you haven't made a mistake, basically, is to just start the entire thing up and see which machines are not working. Yeah, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out the trick to easily put in these things, and with easily I mean with a low cognitive load. But yeah, I'm starting to get the hang of it. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And at this point you can notice I have found the trick. It's going faster now. Anyway, I think I'm going to talk a bit about what took me so long to make this episode. So actually, I had this plan for this episode immediately after I was done, and then and somehow I had much trouble trying to find the commitment to go on with this. Oh yeah, by the way, here you can see me pausing because I have to look at my piece of paper where I have to remember which lines here where I have to go into which machines. But it's quite simple, it's just copper and magnets, so you just have to go in that one assembly machine. But yeah, why it took me so long, it's actually mostly problem of commitment. I had some small trouble in my private situation, and but it was really not enough to make, yeah. There was really no particular reason why I didn't manage to record more videos. I basically had time, but yeah, it's a matter of commitment because these videos are about 20-25 minutes long, but they are basically like an hour and a half to 2 hours to make. Especially this one, for example, because here I had to do calculations in advance, and I'm doing the voiceover, and those things together really make the hours add up, like 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours. I put in this episodes over the several days, and then I don't have time every day, so then yeah, I have to try to build up a bit of a reserve, and once you lose one day, it's really easy to lose commitments for some time longer. But I'm really happy I'm restarting. I have some time today and tomorrow, so I'm gonna try to like make 5 episodes immediately. So yeah, so we should have some uploads for several days. Another thing I wanted to talk about is I've in the beginning that I made in the first video, I said it was my goal to do this in 30 hours and hope to do this in 20 hours. Now, like I said, I have done several calculations in the meantime since the last episode, and one of those things I finally calculated was how long it will actually take me to build a Dyson Sphere. Because many people have already done speedruns of the science in about 10 hours, a bit over 10 hours. I guess in the meantime also people have done the speedruns of Dyson Spheres, but I haven't checked it out actually. But in a standard size Dyson Sphere that I saw, I have tried some things out, and I came up with a design that took 27,600 structure points and 450,000 approximately CPU, that's cell points, yes. And so if I want to build rockets at a rate of 4 every second, like I said, that was my goal, then those structured points would be shot in space in a bit under 2 hours. So that's like, if the science takes 10 hours and I can build the Dyson Sphere in 2 hours, then yeah, we're looking at a sub 15 hour run. So that's the current goal, sub 15 hours. I think there are lots of variables left, as in actually making Dyson Sphere is also, or making at least a Dyson Swarm as also a requirement to do the final science. So that's not, so there's a bit of overlap in those two. So yeah, I'm gonna see how far I get that. Yeah, in the meantime, in the build, I've done now my 4 columns, and attaching the belt of the final column. And yeah, it's really, I think it's really evident that the community wants blueprints, because then you could build 1 column and copy paste, and your little robots would just go wild. And yeah, and this video would only be half as long or something. So yeah, I think speedruns will actually speed up a lot once blueprints get officially introduced. Like, there are also already several mods that do it, but I haven't yet played mods, because when I'm playing Dyson Sphere Project, either I'm working on this run or I'm not playing it, because if I'm playing it while I'm not recording it, I'm kind of feeling guilty, because I actually want to make the videos. And yeah, so I've played on instead of spend a bunch of time playing remote instead. So but yeah, chase here, bit by bit all the inserters go in. It's like I feel like if I'm looking back now on it, I feel like I can put this in way quicker, but this is basically as fast as I can go without making errors, because it's so easy to make errors. And like in like 1 minute you can see me making a bunch of errors that I'm not gonna immediately spot. Yeah, I'm gonna tell it when, and probably there are also other errors, but yeah, I would wish I can build faster, but it's not particularly possible. And also clicking correctly. So making sure. So yeah. Okay, and then finally, putting all the inserters directly to the machines, and it's in this part I'm gonna make error, because I have to. It's surprisingly hard to get the correct machines each time. Like here you can. No, this is. Yeah, this is the error I make. So here instead I'm making my inserters, my sorters from the motors from the outputs to the inputs, right? And here I spotted, but I haven't spotted that I already done it one module earlier. So I'm gonna fix that next episode, or whenever I start the entire system and notice that there are a bunch of assemblers not working, because yeah, that's the only way to really spot errors. And yeah, also in the meantime, I have bought a new microphone. You may notice that the audio quality has gone up quite a bit. I'm really quite happy with it. In the couple of tests I make, I guess I'm gonna see in a couple of minutes. I'm gonna listen how it actually worked out. Yeah, here this part of the build, I was gonna say complete, not yet. Still a couple more inserts to go. So we have 2 belts, and both sides have to take from it. 2 belts is the maximum you can do like this, and they have to have, your sorters have to have a very particular pattern. There's actually a way to take from 3 belts, but then your 2 assemblers have to be offset by 1 tile. Which for some people is more annoying than others. But yeah, and this is a way I noticed to easily notice if you have forgotten any inserters, because each inserter will have a blinking light. So here I'm actually, while I'm placing the poles, I'm checking for the blinking lights, which ones are missing, whether they are missing or not. There aren't, but it's one check you can do to see if you missed an inserter. Fortunately, you're not gonna notice if you placed an inserter wrongly, so you can't spot all the errors. Just if you've forgotten something. And here you see me notice one little yellow spot left. It's because the curvature of the planet, what works on one column doesn't always work on the next one. So I'm trying one tile over, does it work? Well, no, there's another yellow tile left, no more to the right. So back on the original place. This power pole goes. And then just place another power pole. Yeah, I'm thinking a bit what's up next. I could have stopped the video recording here actually. But I want to try one more thing. I'm going to start mining this particular iron patch. And then notice I only took 2 mining machines with me. And I don't have resources for more. Luckily this is a resource planet, so I'm going to just grab some iron ore from here. First I'm thinking I'm going to the left, and then I'm thinking to the left to where I have already some machines, and I'm going, no, back to the right. I'm going to just grab some iron ore from this patch to make more mining machines. Yeah, it's a bit paying so much attention, you have everything with you, and then you still forget some things. Yeah, such as life. On a more perfect speedrun, this would have been anticipated, but yeah. I don't think I'm gonna get a world record with this. That seems very implausible. So here, grabbing iron ore, make more mining machines. And then I think I probably wrote down somewhere how much I need. I think I need about 96 iron ore per second for the entire build, so this is divided by 4, so that's 16 iron ore per second, so that's 3 belts. So yeah, I wanna double check my calculations between episodes. And then I'm gonna leave it for here. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.